run you through the lineups one more time if you're just tuning in to Talksport 2 ahead of this commentary. Benfica play a 4-2-3-1 system. Vassilios Vlachodimos is their goalkeeper. Gilberto, Antonio Silva, Morato and Alex Grimaldo are their back four. Chiquinho and Florentino Luis are their defensive midfielders. João Mario, Rafa Silva and Frederic Osnes are the three in behind the very talented Gonçalo Ramos, who, as Scott Mincho mentioned earlier, scored a hat-trick in the World Cup for Portugal against Switzerland. And for Inter Milan, a 3-5-2 for the Nerazzurri. Andre Onana is their goalkeeper. Then Matteo Darmian, Francesco Acerbi and Alessandro Bastoni in their back three. Five across midfield from right to left: Denzel Dumfries, Nicolo Barella, Marcelo Brozovic, Henrik Mkhitaryan and Federico Di Marco. Lautaro Martinez and Edin Dzeko are the preferred strike partnership. Full subs benches for both teams tonight, and the likes of Lukaku and Correa on the bench for Inter. Gagliardini, De Vrij, Gosens, Bellanova, Aslani, D'Ambrosio. Far less recognisable names, but Gonçalo Guedes is on the bench on loan from Wolverhampton Wanderers at Benfica. Didn't really click for him at Wolves. A couple of goals in 18 appearances. Also David Neres, once of Ajax, is amongst the Benfica substitutes. We'll keep you in touch with events at the Etihad tonight, where Manchester City are taking on Bayern Munich. But if you want full commentary of that, it's over on Talksport. If you've got the Talksport app downloaded, you'll find it so easy just to flick between the two commentaries here on 2 between Benfica and Inter and Manchester City Bayern, just with a swipe left or right to pick out Talksport or Talksport 2 on the app. And Benfica in their red and white get us underway, kicking from right to left as we look. Alex Grimaldo gets an early ball forward to Gonçalo Ramos, holds it up neatly, and Rafa Silva, who's a tricky customer in the number 10 role for Benfica, tries to dart through the middle. The ball's worked up by Inter to halfway. Dzeko is fouled and Inter have a free kick. So Inter in their bright yellow chain strip. They're not going to miss any of their teammates wearing that outfit tonight. Ball's played back to Andre Onana, who's keeping out the vastly experienced Samir Handanovic, who's played it to halfway, and it's won back by Benfica and worked back to their goalkeeper, the Greek international Odysseas Vlachodimos. Kept 17 clean sheets in 27 league matches, but as Danny Mills has been saying, Premier League okay, but this is the serious stuff.
Yeah, quality of the opposition is never going to be the greatest. Within that, 2 or 3 teams at the top of the league are always going to be there. That's just how it is.
But they'll take heart from having stayed unbeaten through the group stages, including a couple of draws against Paris Saint-Germain. No mean feat.
Oh, definitely.
Out the ball at the edge of their own penalty area, and the youngster Antonio Silva clears his lines up to halfway, but it was well won back on halfway by Acerbi. Now Dzeko, tall, imposing frame of the Bosnian, but he's lost out, and away comes Osnes down the left-hand side for Benfica, looking for Gonçalo Ramos, but Acerbi's back there again to tidy up and calmly roll it back to his keeper Onana. Chips the ball right-footed out to the near touchline. Dumfries, the right wing-back, heads it back in field, and Benfica can't keep it in play. Throw bang on halfway to Inter Milan. Couple of minutes gone, 0-0 on Talksport 2.
Inter have just got to try and quieten down the crowd. They're doing that quite well at the moment. They're keeping possession. They're starting 2 minutes in, but they're the ones dominating the ball at the moment. Benfica, you would have thought, would have come out of the traps a little bit quicker. Get the ball in behind, get the ball moving quickly, get the crowd on their feet, and get Milan, get Inter's backs against the wall.
Ball played into Florentino Luis, out to the right-hand side. Almost dispossessed there, Gilberto Jr. João Mario, who'll be fully incentivised to play well over the 2 legs against his former club, Inter Milan. Made nearly 70 appearances for them a few seasons ago. Here he is again. Rolls it back to into the centre half. Antonio Silva. Now Ronaldo, the left back, giving the ball back infield to Chiquinho. I was chatting to Scott Minto about Chiquinho, and they were likening him potentially, if he develops the way that they want him to, into a potential Zidane-type midfielder.
No pressure then?
No pressure at all.
It's the next Zidane, probably the next Messi, isn't it, or next Ronaldo, whatever it is now.
I think they've got some sort of nickname for him that is based around Zizou, Zizou or Zizunio or something like that.
I'd shake that as quickly as possible.
3.5 minutes gone. Benfica 0, Inter Milan 0, and we're underway over on Talksport as well between Manchester City and Bayern.
What I find strange, Jans, is you've got an incredible atmosphere in this stadium. The fans are up for it, and it's a subdued start. Let's pass it around the back. Let's have a slow bit. I understand that, but surely for the first 5 minutes or so, get in the opposition's half, get the tempo going, and play the ball around in there. So when you pass the ball around at the back, you're actually passing it around on the halfway line, not in and around your 18-yard box. Get going forward. Use that momentum from the crowd.
Well, they do have lots of red shirts in the Inter half at the moment as Gilberto cuts in from the right-hand side. Ramos teases it back out to the right-hand side. He's gone again down the right channel. Acerbi gets there first. Kept the ball in play well for Inter, actually. And then Dzeko is fouled as he laid it off midway point of his own half. Clever play from Edin Dzeko. He's won a free kick for Inter Milan. 4.5 gone, 0-0.
The difference is Inter are looking to play the ball forward early, and I don't mean just hoof it over the top. So whoever's got the ball, you see it now, look, they're looking up, first pass, can I play forward? If they can't, they play backwards. Whereas Benfica, the first thought is, let's keep possession, let's go sideways.
Inter have the ball at the backs with former Manchester United fullback Matteo Darmian playing as one of a three-man centre-half partnership. Down went Barella, one of the most talented midfielders in Italy at the moment. He's been just clipped by Orsnes, the Norwegian, and Inter have another free kick. Just trying to increase the tempo a little bit. They want to throw into on the far side, over on the left-hand side. Henrik Mkhitaryan, another name familiar to Talksport listeners after his time in England with Manchester United and with Arsenal, we shouldn't forget. The ball's back at the edge of the Inter Milan area, and it's left for their keeper Andre Onana. Former Barcelona youth, didn't make any appearances there. Of course, made his name Onana with over 200 appearances at Ajax, which led to his move to Inter. He drills the ball downfield. Martinez tries to help it on for Dzeko, does come back his way, and he lays it off for Barella, who's got Dumfries moving up to the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Barella takes over again, plays it back into midfield for Brozovic. Now Dumfries on this near side, the right, and Barella just slowed the move down a little bit. There was a chance to put the ball in the box, but instead they're now working the ball from right to left. Good play out to the left-hand side. Di Marco will work it back in field and find Brozovic inside the centre circle. Very patient from Inter Milan here.
Yeah, but because they start off a little bit more direct, they're playing in Benfica's half. So, you know, you can afford to make mistakes there. You can afford to take a risk. Benfica have to be a lot more aware, because one ball and you can be in trouble.
Well, Di Marco's cross from the left went behind for a corner kick. Antonio Silva just had to clear it on the half volley. It was good work from Federico Di Marco down the left-hand side. That'll be a first corner of the game to the Italians. Di Marco is spotting the ball down. Should be a left-footed outswinger to come from him. In fact, he's played it short. It's worked back to Brozovic, left-hand corner of the area. Right-footed swinging crossing, but it's too high for anybody. And well wide of goalkeeper Locodimus's left-hand post, and he takes the goal kick quickly, looking for Rafa Silva, but that's very comfortably dealt with at the back by Inter Milan. 7 gone on Talksport 2, 0-0.
Like I say, I think Inter look the better side at the moment. They look more composed, look like they've got more of a game plan and more of a threat. And a lot of it is really because their first thought is, can I play the ball forward? Can we get the ball into the front players, and then we'll play from there?
Darmian, just outside his own penalty area for Inter Milan. Rolls the ball out to the near touchline for Dumfries. He just nicks it in field, and Brozovic looks to spread play from right to left, and he finds DiMarco just at the halfway line. Just takes the game down to walking pace. Plays it infield to Acerbi on the halfway line. He plays a long diagonal ball downfield looking for Dumfries. That was well dealt with at the back by Grimaldo, but Barella on the scene. Lovely whipped in cross from the right wing just over Dzeko's head, and they haven't cleared it yet, Benfica. Now they're doing João Mario, forced to go back to his own dead ball line, and he's lost out to Mkhitaryan. And the ball placed in by DiMarco, and Dzeko gets a flick header, but it's a good 4 or 5 yards wide. But good attacking intent and desire to win the ball back high up from Inter Milan. 0-0.
Fabulous ball in from Morella, but it all comes about because they're on the front foot. They want to go and win the ball. They're putting Benfica under pressure, and they're not going as individuals. You know, one goes, the second one goes, the third one goes. They're really pressing as a team.
Grimaldo has taken the ball too far downfield from Benfica's left back position. Went to ground, but there was no suspicion of a free kick, and Inter have it back, and it's Acerbi playing the ball through the centre circle. Lautaro Martinez tried to thread the ball through for the onrushing Dzeko. It was won back briefly by Morato, and then Osnes, he gives the ball away, although Mkhitaryan sliding in couldn't keep possession for Inter, just gave it back to the Portuguese league leaders. And here is Antonio Silva, just 19 years young. Terrific breakthrough season he has had for Benfica. Now, chance for Chiquinho to turn and fire the ball out to Grimaldo, the left back. Gets over the halfway line on this near side. Rafa Silva makes a darting run down the left-hand side, looking to get the better of Darmian. Darmian gets a foot in, wants a goal kick, but it's given us a corner kick by the referee. Darmian's complaining. He thinks that Rafa Silva got the last touch, but it came, I'm not sure.
It's one of those, isn't it? It's like there's the challenge, it hits the attacker, then it does it come back and just flick Darmian's foot. Very, very difficult to tell.
Well, a corner's been given, and Chiquinho has come across to the near side to take it. 10 minutes gone, 0-0, right-footed in-swinger for Benfica's first corner. Deep to the far post, headed up in the air by Dumfries, back doing some defending. Drops at the edge of the 18-yard box, and then it's thumped downfield by Lautaro Martinez, but nobody there in a bright yellow Inter Milan shirt, so Benfica had it back with Florentino Luis, and he plays the ball across the halfway line right to left to Chiquinho. And now Grimaldo, João Mario has pulled out to this left-hand side. Just strokes the ball back into his own half. First one, Morato, and then Florentino Luis. Just turns away from the two Inter strikers who converged on him around the centre spot. Morato again.
So rare these days, isn't it, see two up top?
Yes. Well, I saw it the other night, or the other day for Luton Town in the EFL, when you got Carlton Morris and Lajer Adebayo. It is rare.
But I get it, in a 5-3-2 formation,
yes,
or a 3-5-2, whichever you want to call it, you know, you load the midfield up, you've still got two up top.
Here is Antonio Silva pushing forward from centre-back, but in trying to slide the ball through to Gonzalo Ramos, he gave an easy ball back to Dumfries, but he hit the ball a good 25-30 yards ahead of Dzeko, who at least applauds the idea from Denzel Dumfries, the Dutch wing-back. And it's 0-0 between Benfica and Inter on Talksport 2 in the Champions League. Luis lays it off for Chiquinho, his defensive midfield partner. Rafa Silva just caught as he just span in between two Inter midfielders. He is quite a tricky customer, Rafa Silva, and he's won a free kick for Benfica midway point of the Inter Milan half. 0-0.
And quite clearly, I know they're not all Italians in the team, but they have that Italian mentality. Inter, you get past me, I'm going to pull you down. There'll be a little trip, there'll be a little shirt pull, whatever it might be. Not really enough to get a booking, but just enough to knock you off your stride, break the game up, give away the free kick. Very, very clever at doing that.
The dark arts. Here's Chiquinho, turned neatly away from Dumfries. Grimaldo, left-hand corner of the penalty area, finds Chiquinho again, breaks outside the area first for Florentino Luis. Luis again will have a go from distance. Oh, he skies it horribly, way wide and over the bar when the ball was presented to him. First effort on goal that Benfica have had with Tom, and it's gone and it's way off target, 0-0.
I'm not sure you can call that an effort on goal. I mean, he's got Danny Mills' boots on there. He's stuck that in a different postcode.
I wasn't going to say that.
I mean, that's woeful, leaning back, isn't it? That's a really, really poor effort.
Well, Inter Milan trying to play out from the back. Darmian clears up to halfway, but it's won back by Florentino Luis. And then it's back with Inter Milan. Brozovic gave it away as he tried to flick it in field for the on-rushing Varela. And the home side have it back on this near touchline with Grimaldo. Oh, lovely ball in field and a dummy from Rafa Silva. Gianmario just loses possession courtesy of Brozovic as he was darting through midfield, and the ball snakes through to Onana, who can pounce upon it. 0-0.
For a team that scored so many goals, and I know it's in domestic football mainly, they're just lacking a little bit of confidence and a little bit of idea when you get into the final third.
Danny Mills you can hear alongside me, Ian Danta here on Talksport 2. Benfica 0, Inter Milan 0, and it's 0-0 as well in the Talksport commentary between Manchester City and Bayern Munich. Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce, your commentary team for that one. The Estadio de Luz, long ball hit downfield for Dzeko, but he couldn't get past Morato with that. And it's back with Lacodimos, and forward come Benfica up to the halfway line. Morato drives it infield to Orsnes, the Norwegian number 8. Antonio Silva out to the right hand side for Gilberto Jr. A couple of changes forced on Roger Smith, the Benfica coach. Nicola Otamendi, we mentioned, suspended, and Barr, the usual right back, went off early in the 2-1 defeat here to Porto on Friday night. He's not recovered, so Gilberto gets the shout. The 30-year-old at right back. Here's Orsnes again. Good spell of possession this for Benfica, and Rafa Silva just goes through the gears a little bit down the inside left channel, out to the left wing, and Grimaldo, good cross into the box. It's headed back. Rafa Silva hits it against Onana, who blocks it out with his chest. Comes out to Grimaldo, and he's thought he won a corner, but it came off him last of all. But that's much closer from Benfica on the quarter-hour mark. Rafa Silva smacking it against the chest of Onana from close range. 0-0.
It came to him very, very quickly. The initial cross wasn't particularly good, but the defending was woeful. Trying to head it down in your own box is a really bad idea. And it pops up to Rafa Silva. He sort of catches it on the half volley. It comes at him really, really quickly. He can't get a full swing at it. And I think Onana's a little bit fortunate, because it was almost like he dived past the ball, but in the end managed to get a strong arm on it and push it away to safety.
And so it stays 0-0 with a quarter of an hour gone here on Talksport 2. You're listening to the Champions League live on Talksport 2 with Till, the card payment provider from NatWest. Got 2 more Champions League games for you tomorrow across the network. Real Madrid Chelsea is on Talksport. Adrian's out there in Madrid tomorrow, along with commentators Jim Proudfoot and Andy Townsend. Meanwhile, myself and Alvin Martin will bring you the all-Italian quarter-final first leg of the San Siro between AC Milan and everyone's dark horses for this tournament, Napoli. That's tomorrow night across the Talksport network. And West Ham on Thursday tea time, their first leg against Ghent, the Belgian side, in the Europa Conference League quarter-final first leg. So plenty of European football to come this week across our network. 17 minutes gone at the Estadio de Luz. It's Benfica 0, Inter Milan 0. The whistles you can hear after the fact that Inter Milan have kept possession for quite some time, and then a cross comes in from Di Marco from the left-hand side, deflected up in the air, but that made it easier for Lacodimos to gather the ball at his near post, and he bowls it out early for Grimaldo. Now Morato give the ball back to his keeper. Quick 1-2 between those two, and Morato under pressure from Dzeko. It's a long ball over the head of Gonzalo Ramos. Slightly wayward header there from Acerbi, and that allows Benfica a throw-in on the halfway line. Remember, Benfica never made the Champions League semi-finals. Went out to Liverpool, you might remember, in last year's quarter-finals over 2 legs. 3-3 draw in the second leg at Anfield, but they lost here in the first leg, and that was their undoing.
That's where sort of Nunez sealed his move effectively, wasn't it?
That's right, that's absolutely right. And since he left, that's where Gonzalo Ramos has stepped in. 25 goals in all competitions, including 6 in his last 6 appearances. And he's not started too badly for Portugal either, with 4 goals in 7 caps, including that hat-trick against Switzerland. He's looking to receive the ball from Jean Mario.
Yeah, you get a hat-trick, it does rather sway your stats a little bit, doesn't it?
It does. Jean Mario doing well to hold on to the ball on that far side of the field ahead of the attentions of Federico Di Marco. Back into the centre circle, and then a diagonal ball played out to Grimado on the left-hand side, the near side. And he's combining with the Norwegian Osnes onside, level with the edge of the area, works it back to Chiquinho. Chiquinho comes in field, plays a lovely ball up to the edge of the area, heavy touch by Gilberto, didn't know where it was, it's bounced for Gonzalo Ramos, with his back to goal, tees it up for Jean Mario on the volley, right hand corner of the box, and he snatches at it, and it goes wide. But you sense with 19 minutes gone, Danny Mills, that Benfica will just warm into their task a little bit more at 0-0.
Yeah, and I think it's Federico Di Marco who's been left wanted a couple of times in that left wing back position. It was his poor header earlier on that set up Rafa Silva, and again there, it's a poor clearance from him. Sometimes you just got to clear your lines properly. Can't be flicking it in and around your own penalty box. Get rid of the ball, do it properly.
Saw it with Kauro Mitoma on Saturday for Brighton, trying to do something clever inside his own half, and that ultimately led to Tottenham's winning goal in that controversial game that we brought you on Talksport 2.
Sometimes you have to play percentages, Dan. You know, in your own penalty area, teams very rarely score from outside your penalty area. So if you can get the ball out of that at whatever cost, then you can reshape, then you can reorganise. There's no point playing silly, unnecessary 1-2s or little flicks to try and keep the ball at times.
20 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Benfica 0, Inter Milan 0. Benfica have come closest in this opening 20 minutes with a Rafa Silva shot smacked right into the chest of Inter keeper Andre Onana. Benfica trying to play the ball out from the back, and a foul on João Mario gives Benfica a free kick midway point at their own half. Just 2 defeats all season for Benfica then. I mentioned the defeat last time out against Porto. Their only other defeat came at Braga at the Quarry in December when they lost 3-0. Inter, as I mentioned, lost 4 of their last 6 in Serie A. Well, they came up against Mexican goalkeeper Guillermo Ochoa on Friday, played for Salernitana, who put in an absolutely inspired display. Often makes me wonder why he's never signed as a goalkeeper for any of the really big European or well-known, world-renowned sides. Made 10 saves in that game.
Sometimes, Dan, and you see it in training quite a lot, when a goalkeeper's busy, it almost becomes impossible to beat. You know, because the focus is there, the concentration is there, the adrenaline is there, and there's sometimes they're just in that zone where it's shot after shot after shot. I think the greatest keepers, the world's best goalkeepers, are those that make big saves after doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Well, Lautaro Martinez has just been caught, and a yellow card has been administered to Antonio Silva, the youngster, for the foul on the World Cup winner. So our first yellow card of the night goes to Antonio Silva. It's an argument. Well, no, he didn't win the ball.
What?
Well, going across, just catching Lautaro Martinez on the shin. According to Lautaro Martinez, the way he went down, clutching his right shin pad.
I mean, I guess this is a little bit back to how it used to be refereed in Europe. I know it's an English referee.
It is, Michael Oliver.
But the moment you raise your studs or show the sole of your foot, it's a booking, whether you make contact or not, isn't it?
We have VAR in operation, of course, as well, with a semi-automated offsides.
Is it Englishman in the VAR?
I'll check.
Well, I only ask that because they can't seem to communicate in English in the Premier League. I'm a little bit concerned that if it's a foreign language if they're having to get Google Translate out to have a chat with each other, there could be huge problems.
Paul van Berkel of the Netherlands is the VAR, but Stuart Atwell is assisting him. Just so we're clear.
Not sure that helps him.
Ball's back with Andre Onana.
Could be talking double Dutch in that room.
0-0 on Talksport 2. We're at the midway point of the first half in this first leg of the Champions League quarter-finals. And Inter Milan in possession inside their own half. Marcelo Brozovic comes deep, floats it out to Bastoni just over the halfway line. He starts to dart down the inside left channel. Mkhitaryan finds Brozovic once again. Bastoni's stayed wide out left. And then he rolls the ball back to Di Marco. And then it goes all the way back to halfway and Acerbi. Darmian plays the ball along the net. Little flick from Martinez round the corner to Dzeko with his back to goal, but he couldn't turn and head towards goal. Instead it's Brozovic looking again for Mkhitaryan. Chip out to Nicola Barella, hugging the right-hand touchline. He now comes in field. Again, a sustained spell of possession from the Italians. Here is Acerbi. Back to the edge of the centre circle, and Brozovic, who drives the ball along the deck out to Dumfries on the near side, the right. But again, Benfica have got plenty of red shirts back, so Inter are just content to knock it around, work it from right to left as they're doing now. Bastoni plays a 1-2 with Di Marco, chips across in good delivery but headed away by Antonio Silva. But Inter will get to the loose ball and we'll start again on halfway. 24 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, what Inter do have is that consistent, constant focal point in Edin Dzeko. Don't think he's moved outside the width of the box yet. I'm not even sure he's moved out the width of the centre circle. You know, he's that 15, he's that 20-yard central area down the middle of the pitch where he is always there. Not the most mobile, but doesn't need to be. It means everyone can make runs off him.
Now a long try from Acerbi that clips the roof of the net on its way over. Well, Francesco Acerbi just fancied a cracking goal from fully 35 yards out, left-footed. Goalkeeper at full stretch. I think he knew it was going over, but goodness me, it wasn't that far over. Danny Mills, goal kick, 0-0.
Great judgment if he knew that was going over. Could have easily clipped the crossbar and gone obviously absolutely anywhere from there. Yeah, it was just one of those. It just opened up a little bit, sat up nicely for him, and a terrific strike.
He's on loan from Lazio, Francesco Acerbi, former Milan player. There's not that many that play for both clubs at the San Siro. Don't forget, we're with AC Milan tomorrow night at this time on Talksport 2, their game against Napoli. Remember, AC Milan thrashed Napoli just a couple of weeks ago. It was 4-0. Ronaldo?
Yeah. Did he play for both?
Oh, no. I don't think he did. Oh, wait a minute. You mean Brazilian? I thought it was Cristiano.
Excuse me, Mr. Dancer. There is only one Ronaldo.
Well, you see, I just needed confirmation. You know, a Christian name would help.
Well, when you said there's not many, one just popped into my head instantly.
There's not that many.
It's probably not
There's
actually.
not that many. It's like Arsenal and Tottenham. Oh, here we go. My producer's now put Ibrahimovic in my head. Of course, Zlatan...
What's the phone number? You can text in with your answers.
Yeah, I'm going to get about 25 now.
No prizes, but you know...
Ibrahimovic, I don't think will play tomorrow night. He's 41 years of age. I think he's got a knock. I don't think he's going to feature. Meantime, Inter have won a free kick, left-hand side. 26 gone, 0-0. Chipped into the area by Di Marco. Oh, go the heads. Oh, Dumfries didn't seem confident at going for it. He climbed at the far post
and left it,
and seemed to almost jump out the way of it. Danny Mills.
It was a really strange. It's a great ball into the far post. Two Inter players going for it. I just wondered if there was a little bit of lack of communication. It was a bit of like you go, me go, and all of a sudden no one went for it.
Ends up being a throw on the right-hand side, level with the edge of the area for Inter Milan on their right. So Denzel Dumfries to launch it into the box, into the near post, looking for Dzeko. Well, it might drop for Dzeko as Benfica couldn't quite get it clear, kept alive, and the goalkeeper's prevented. Then Dumfries hangs across up to the far post, and it's a very comfortable catch for Vlachodimos.
How good is it to see a long throw in this day and age, when all we talk about is football and, you know, passing the ball, getting on the... Use what you've got. It's no different from a free kick or a corner. If you've got someone that can hurl it into the box, why not use it?
Saw it the other night. I'm trying to remember who it was, but a player who didn't need a 3 or 4 pace run up to hurl it, just bent his back and would hurl it into the box. I think it was a West Ham player.
Oh, I was going to say, I think there's a non-league player at the moment that's sort of taken over from Rory Delap's long throwing record.
Oh, the dilapidator. Yeah. Well, there've been a few down the years. Dave Chandler and Andy Legg. Incidentally, Manchester City have taken the lead
With an absolute worldie done.
Yes, Rodri has curled a left-footed shot into the top corner past Jan Sommer. That's live on Talksport right now at the Etihad with Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce. Manchester City 1, Bayern Munich 0. Here on Talksport 2, it's Benfica 0, Inter Milan 0 as we approach the half hour. Dzeko, who for once has moved outside the width of the 18-yard box but can't hold on to possession. No, he'll be straight back in between those white lines in a moment.
He's got a nosebleed when he went out there.
Ball chipped downfield by Antonio Silva. Rafa Silva making a dart, and a bit of an awkward clearance by Matteo Darmian cleared it straight into the Lisbon evening sky.
Just thinking about that Bayern Munich game. The Bayern players must be thinking, Manuel Neuer, what were you doing going stealing?
Now, ball played into the box for Orsnes, for Benfica as they come forward. Trying to square it back for a teammate. Claims for handball. Michael Oliver waves away the claims. And Benfica have some defending to do. And Orsnes just clipped Brozovic as he got away down the near side. And Michael Oliver puts his finger to his ear to hear what VAR might have to say about the potential for a handball inside the box.
I don't know about the handball, but Orsnes, I think it was, if he'd have gone down straight away, I think they could have easily given a foul. The second one's a double ricochet, and I think it's probably in his chest or his midriff.
There's no handball that I can see.
No, it's
knee, shoulder.
It's head, shoulders, knees and toes, isn't it? All in one movement.
Everything but a hand.
Yeah, it's ricocheted all over the place. But I think if he'd have gone down originally, where there's a little bit of a nudge, he might have more of a shout of a penalty.
But it stays 0-0 on Talksport 2. Half an hour gone. Here comes Alessandro Bastoni down the left-hand side, trying to clip it into the edge of the area, but away comes Antonio Silva, bringing the ball out from the back. Oh, he's rode a couple of challenges, and he's moving into the Inter-half. What a challenge, Mkhitaryan, to win it back for Inter, and play it out to Dimarco, left-hand side. Brilliantly timed challenge.
Well, that was steam, didn't he?
Now Lautaro Martinez wins a corner as Florentino Luis elects to put the ball behind. Great run downfield by the centre-half, but the Armenian Mkhitaryan timed his challenge to perfection to win it back.
It was the old lactate monster kicked in. It's like watching the 400-metre runners dying in the last 50 metres, wasn't it? All of a sudden he just had nothing absolutely left, and that allowed Mkhitaryan, who's no spring chicken, to get back and make a very, very good tackle.
So it's a corner to Inter Milan with 31 minutes played, and Dimarco with a left-footed outswinger to come for the Italians. In it comes, left-footed into the near post, headed out by Gonzalo Ramos, doing some defending for Benfica. Back out to the left-hand side of Dimarco, but this cross is way over. It goes out on the full for a goal kick to Benfica. Still goalless then in this Champions League quarter-final first leg. Simone Inzaghi, 47 years of age. 9 years is opposite numbers junior Roger Smit, who won the Dutch Cup at PSV last season. They've done a brilliant job early on with Benfica, and they've won the ball back, and Rafa Silva is fouled, but the referee waits play on as Orsnes comes down the left-hand side of the area, plays it back, looking for Jean Mario, and it's cleared out of play for a throw. Michael Oliver was right to play on because Benfica was steaming forward, but the Benfica fans think it should have been pulled back for the challenge on Rafa Silva, 0-0.
Yeah, I just wonder, how long can you play on for before you pull it back?
I think the accepted number is like 2 or 3 seconds, isn't it, before...
It wasn't far off that, was it?
Oh, given away on halfway by Benfica, and Lautaro Martinez trying to thread the ball through to find Edin Dzeko, but it's won back by Chiquinho, and Benfica have it back. The game's just starting to get stretched a little in these last few moments, Danny Mills.
Just starting to open up a little bit. Benfica are getting a little bit more adventurous.
And here's Jean Mario darting down the Benfica right-hand side. He's got support out there from the right back Gilberto. Now Osnes, neat ball across to Grimaldo, left-hand corner of the area, swings the ball across the face of goal, too far ahead of Gonzalo Ramos, and it's a goal kick to Inter Milan with just over 12 minutes to half-time on Talksport 2, 0-0.
I think that's a shot. Yeah, I think he's going, and he sort of he pulls it, doesn't he, a little bit. Wasn't a great strike. But we're just seeing the free kick again. I mean, surely that would be one of the laws that they could tweak and just say, well, look, okay, I'm going to play on, but if you don't get any benefit from it after 7 or 8 seconds, we'll bring it back. They take 4 or 5 minutes to look at VAR, so it's not like it's going to do any harm, is it, in terms of time?
It probably was a shot from Alex Grimaldo. Candreva, do you remember him? He was playing for Salernitana and he scored the equaliser against Inter on Friday with a shot, well, that looked more like a cross and deceived Onana late on and earned Salernitana a share of the spoils. That's why Inter are 6 without a win. But Martinez, looking at Dzeko, intercepted by Antonio Silva, and Jean Mario just takes the ball over the head of Di Marco, trying to play in field for Rafa Silva. Most definitely growing in confidence, Benfica, in the last 4 or 5 minutes, encouraged by the home support. Florentino Luis inside the Inter half of the field, plays the ball to the right, and Gilberto faced up by Di Marco, and also Bastoni out there with him. Jean Mario, the former Inter man, plays the ball back in field. Chiquinho just to the left of centre in the middle of the Inter half, plays it back to the centre circle, and Morato, and then Antonio Silva back out to Gilberto. Now Jean Mario looking to twist and turn, and he turns out of play in the end. Didn't have any room on that far side, or not as much room as he thought, so it's a throw into Inter Milan just over 10 to the break, 0-0 on Talksport 2. Di Marco getting ready to take the throw, goes back to Bastoni, who just volleys it into the evening sky, drops around the halfway line, but Benfica win it back. It's a bit lazy, that clearance from Bastoni, not a lot of quality in it. And Benfica have possession, and they're looking to get Rafa Silva away down the right hand side of the box. Flag stays down, back to the edge of the area. Osnes, heavy touch from him, and then the flag does belatedly go up against Rafa Silva. I thought he looked offside, but of course it's all about keeping the flag down until the last possible moment these days. So it's a free kick to Inter Milan, 0-0.
But no one really took a chance, did he, when he got into the box? There's a little bit of lack of belief when Benfica do get into the final third. It's almost like they're a little bit hesitant to go forward.
But they're holding the Italians to 0-0, and just given away by Dumfries inside his own half. Rafa Silva goes down, and he's won a free kick, been fouled by Acerbi, and this is about 25 yards from goal, but quite a way to the left of centre. But a good chance here, Danny Mills, for Benfica to get the ball into the danger area and see what they can create at 0-0.
Yeah, they haven't had too many options or opportunities to do that. Got to make the most of it. There's nothing wrong with using free kicks, corners, long throw-ins. They're all part of the ability to attack. You have to just think of it as it's a free cross into the box.
They're a big side though, Inter Milan. Lots of big men at the back and up front to help defend this free kick. A couple of players standing over it, Grimaldo and Chiquinho. Chiquinho leaves it for the left-footed Grimaldo, goes into the near post. Florentino Luis went down. No place for a penalty. Inter Milan just clear it all the way downfield to Lacadimus, the keeper, who's midway point of his own half.
It's got a bit scrappy, isn't it, Dan?
Yes. There's not a real pattern to the game that's suiting either side really, but as I say, in the last 4 or 5 minutes Benfica have at least won a bit more ball inside the Inter half of the field, more confident playing in that half as well. Jean Mario out on the right hand side, midway point of the Inter Milan half, fires the ball downfield, really tricky pass for Rafa Silva to collect, and it was never going to be one he was going to collect. It just shanked off the outside of his boot, went behind for a goal kick. 8 to half time, 0-0.
Well, that was get hold of it waist high, coming in at 100 mile an hour. Ridiculously difficult to control.
Got a point to prove, Jean Mario, against his old club. Might be the odd rush of blood to the head in terms of passing.
I think he looks a bit like Fernandinho, the younger
Yes,
version.
oh, very much. With a shaven head, yes. Very much a Fernandinho looky-likey.
You think it's shaven, not follically challenged?
Well,
like
I'm guessing that it's shaven. I wouldn't want to speculate any further than that. Any more than I would speculate about yours, Dan.
It's definitely not shaven.
37 minutes gone. Benfica
maybe the three hairs are.
There you go. Inter Milan prevent the corner down the left-hand side against João Mario, was pressing down that far side for the Portuguese. Ball goes downfield, brilliantly held up by Dzeko, and works it infield to Martinez. Further across to the right, can Barella keep it in on this near touchline? He can. Midway point of the Benfica half. Rolls it infield to the heavily tattooed Brozovic. Now Darmian wants at Manchester United. Has to go back to the halfway line and Acerbi. Now Bastoni on the halfway line, looking for an option, drills a left-footed ball out to the right wing where Barella is stationed. He drifts in field now. Then a left-footed ball into the box, looking for Dzeko, and it's just beyond his desperate dive at the far post. Lovely flighted cross for Nicola Barella, just a whisker away from the head of Edin Dzeko. 0-0 goal kick.
But it all starts a couple of minutes ago when Dzeko gets hold of the ball against all odds, backing in, holds the ball up, from just a hopeful clearance down the pitch, and all of a sudden they can set an attack up from there. And eventually when it comes in, it's 6 inches just too high for him to get his head on.
More live Champions League action tomorrow night across the Talksport network. Don't forget, we've got Real Madrid against Chelsea. We're in the Santiago Bernabeu tomorrow night with Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Andy Townsend. And here come Inter Milan steaming forward with Federico Di Marco, left-hand side of the area, drills it across to the far post, and Dzeko didn't go for it. I think he knew he would have been offside. Is that giving us a corner? Did it come off a Benfica boot, or is it a free kick?
I think Di Marco shapes to shoot, and I think that's why Dzeko doesn't quite go in for the cross. Look, I think that's a shot. Having said that, probably Dzeko did know that it was offside. Great spot dance to see that, but I still think it's a shot. The way he shapes his body, doesn't look up at all. He tries to fire it in towards the far post.
Well, it is a corner that's been given, so the fact that Dzeko was stood in an offside position is an irrelevance in this instance. So Di Marco's come across to this near side to take the corner. 5 to the break, 0-0. Inter's corner, driven into the near post, headed out from under the crossbar by João Mario and lands on the roof of the net, and it's merely another Inter Milan corner at 0-0. Real pace on that delivery from Di Marco into the near post.
Yeah, big side Inter, aren't they? Some good, powerful players in there. Get the delivery right, it could be problems.
They played a short corner back to the centre of the half, and then Darmian swings the ball back out to the right where Barella waits, faced up by Luiz. He nutmegs him, whips it across from the right hand side, but João Mario back doing defending that time, left hand side of the box, allowed Benfica to clear, and into under pressure from Rafa Silva, give the ball back to their keeper Onana. 4 minutes to half time, 0-0. Inter Milan in possession with Lautaro Martinez. Great work inside his own half, and spreads play into the inside right position for Barella. Drills across to the far side. Di Marco across the face of goal, is behind Dzeko and Martinez, who both made good runs to the near post. Dumfries tries to win it back and get the cross in, but it's gone behind for a goal kick. Both him and Grimaldo have gone down clutching their calves and shins and goodness knows what, both claiming they were fouled. And I don't think Michael Oliver wants anything to do with either of them. Goal kick, 0-0.
Oh, it was a great pullback from Di Marco. And Lautaro Martinez. It's one of those where he just needs to do that little Cruyff flick. That's the one, isn't it? And as it comes out, it's a real difficult one, because Dumfries is looking to cross the ball, and the fullback just nicks a foot in front of him, and as he does that, he kicks the back of his Achilles. So it's one of those, who fouls who effectively.
Well, it's been given us a corner in the end. They say that Grimaldo got the final.
That's what a cop-out from the referee.
And it comes deep this time from Di Marco. They kept it in play at the far post. They have back to Brozovic, tries it through a crowd of players, and it's cleared from the 6-yard line by Antonio Silva, but the whistle had gone.
Why is the linesman not flagging immediately? Well, the header comes back in, there's a pass back to the edge of the box. Why does he wait 3 or 4 seconds to flag for the ball going out of play?
0-0 it stays. Benfica trying to work the ball downfield. Aerial ball is never going to be easy for Rafa Silva to win. He's good half a foot short of the most of those at the back for Inter Milan. And the ball's back with one of those tall men, Acerbi. Damian finds Barella inside his own half. Brozovic, quick ball up to halfway. Dumfries tries to lay it off to Barella, was put in by Grimaldo, but then Brozovic turns infield neatly. Mkhitaryan first time ball downfield, looking for Dzeko, can't find him. Gianmario jumps but loses the ball just inside the Inter half. 90 seconds of normal time to go. Osnes looking for Rafa Silva, but he runs into Dumfries. Good skill from Denzel Dumfries, but he pushed his man in winning the ball back, and Michael Oliver gives the free kick in Simone Inzaghi. Can't believe it's been given.
What can I? Honestly.
Taken quickly, Grimaldo down the left-hand side of the area, looking for Osnes, and they've had to put it behind for a corner. And Benfica, as we move towards the last minute of the first half, had their second corner kick, and it's been taken quickly. That's a Chiquinho, swings across in well over the head of Gonzalo Ramos, and Onana can just pat the ball down and claim it at the second attempt. 0-0.
Well, it's a good job that decision by Michael Oliver didn't lead for anything, because all sorts could have happened. I think as we thought, the game was turned into, I said at the beginning, could well be attritional.
Yes.
And I think the last sort of 30 minutes of the half is exactly what it's been.
Into the last minute of the half then. Damian works the ball back to his keeper, Onana. And there's not much of a high press from Benfica. When Inter get it in their back three, Benfica are happy to let them have it up to around about the centre circle, and then they engage. Barella in the centre circle.
I think it's called a low block in this day and age.
Yeah.
One of those fancy terms.
Just deep defending, isn't it?
Correct. But the high pressure used to be called closing down once upon a time. Push and hard work.
Yes. I'm not used to that.
No.
Bastoni wins a foul on halfway, but Inter just was pulled back momentarily by Gianmario. And we move into added time, and there will not be any added time. Michael Oliver blows the whistle for half-time, and it's all square. It's been a very tight affair at the Estadio de Luz. The closest Benfica came was a snapshot from Rafa Silva midway through the half that went straight into the chest of the Inter keeper, Andre Onana, well placed to keep it out. At the other end, few corners forced by Inter, and a lovely ball across the face of goal by Federico Di Marco that went just behind the onrushing Martinez and Dzeko coming in at the near post. And so it's 0-0 at the break between Benfica and Inter Milan, but Inter get this second half underway wearing their all-yellow away strip, and immediately Dzeko looks for Martinez at the edge of the area, but the flag's gone up for a handball. So a quick run through the lineups. 4-2-3-1 for Benfica. Vlaco Dimos in goal, Gilberto, Antonio Silva, Morato and Grimaldo in the back four, Chiquinho and Luis the defensive midfielders, then Gianmario, Rafa Silva and Osnes in behind Gonzalo Ramos. 3-5-2 for Inter, in front of Onana, their keeper, Damian, Acerbi, Bastoni. 5 across midfield, Dumfries, Barella, Brozovic, Mkhitaryan and Di Marco, and Dzeko and Martinez, the striking partnership, with the likes of Lukaku and Correa waiting on the bench.
I was just thinking, Dan, so, let's imagine it is an Inter AC semi-final. It's a good job the away goals rule has gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, how pointless would that be?
Totally, in the San Siro, you're right. Here is Gilberto Jr.
They don't even change dress.
Neat flicking field by Gonzalo Ramos for Gianmario, getting up to the edge of the D. Acerbi steps in front of him.
Just lost a little bit of belief.
Yeah.
When he got into that final third, it's like, do I shoot? Do I pass it? In the end, didn't really do anything, and Acerbi was able to get back.
Oh, lovely reverse ball. That's to the edge of the area. Might break for Rafa Silva, but Inter got a foot in. But Morato wins it back. Gianmario, he's got Osnes calling for it down the left-hand side of the area. Across the face of goal, it almost came through to Gilberto, who come up from the back, and Di Marco had to clear it away. And that's more like it from Benfica, 0-0.
It is. It's still just a little bit hesitant in that final third. no one's really got sort of seems like the belief or the conviction to really take the shot on or to take that final pass on. It's like, shan't I? Oh, not quite so sure. And then the chance is just gone.
Darmian whacks the ball downfield but can only find Antonio Silva. Benfica asking a couple of questions at the start of the second half here. 0-0. The ball's worked back to Antonio Silva on the halfway line. Just gets over the halfway line. Silva plays the ball in field to Florentino Luis. Out to the left hand side, and Grimaldo, early ball into the box looking for Rafa Silva. It's headed away from him by a combination of Darmian and Acerbi, and the clearance downfield from Dumfries almost controlled by Chiquinho, but instead Inter Milan clear up to the halfway line. But they've won it back. Benfica. Morato finds Osnes, chips the ball neatly across the halfway line left to right to pick out Gilberto Jr. Just faced up by Di Marco. Stays on the right hand side with Florentino Luis. Benir now runs back towards the halfway line, strokes it back out to the right hand touchline where Jean Mario's waiting. Early ball in field for Gonzalo Ramos. Then Gilberto thinks he's won a throw, but it's not gone his way. System's given it to Inter Milan in their left back position. 3.5 minutes gone in the second half. Benfica 0, Inter Milan 0 in this first leg of the Champions League quarter-finals.
Well, Benfica have come out with a little bit more intent in this second half, using the crowd, which I was expecting them really to do in the first half.
Danny Mills alongside me, Ian Danter on commentary. Oh, lovely skill on halfway by Rafa Silva, and he finds Jean Mario. Gilberto pushing down the right flank, tries to wrap his foot round it at the dead ball line with a cross. It's into the near post and a very easy headed clearance by Mkhitaryan.
Too slow dance. He's got the opportunity to whip that ball in behind the defenders, between the goalkeeper, has the extra touch, and then the defenders are back in a good position to defend it.
Now, Di Marco has made a strong run down the left hand side and gets across into the box, but there are plenty of red shirts back for Benfica, and they clear downfield. Lovely little flick in field by Jean Mario. Rafa Silva is pulled back by Brozovic. Free kick on halfway to Benfica.
Saw that coming from an absolute mile away.
You got a card for Brozovic as well for that. As Rafa Silva, very neat skill, and Brozovic had his arms round the Benfica 27 straight away.
Before it even got anywhere near him, you knew exactly what he was going to do, didn't you?
Vastly experienced Brozovic, of course, for both club and country. Was that handball by Bastoni? No, says Michael Oliver. And then he's fouled by Florentino Luis as he tries to bring the ball clear. 5 gone in the second half on Talksport 2. Benfica 0, Inter Milan 0 in the Champions League. It was ball to hand, I think, just came off his thigh on the deck and then went onto his upper arm. Lovely score by Chiquinho earlier, just a pirouette away from the challenge of an on-rushing Inter midfielder.
So up to this point, I think Michael Oliver's refereed the game very, very well. Maybe they should play some Premier League games in Europe, because they seem to referee the game differently.
Cross in for the far side, and the header is in! Nicola Barella gives Inter Milan the lead. Sweeping cross from the left-hand side. And the influential Italian midfielder heads Inter Milan in front. Lovely placement of the header back across Onana and into the bottom corner. And the first goal in this Champions League quarter-final goes to the Italians and Nicola Barella. 6 minutes into the second half. Benfica 0, Inter Milan 1.
Has to be one of the smallest players on the Inter team, but what a fantastic header. And this is the difference. Inter get into the final third, they just put the ball into the box. Not a problem at all. They don't hesitate, they don't wait. It's over Dzeko. Barella's coming round the back stick. Free header. Defending is absolutely atrocious, but it's brilliantly guided back from where the ball came from into the far corner. Absolute textbook cross, textbook header.
It's not scored since October. Barella, but he's put them ahead, Inter Milan. in this Champions League tie in the Stadio de Luz, just a little quieter after that lovely header from the Inter Milan number 23. So 7 minutes gone in the second half and the deadlock finally broken, and that after Benfica, Danny Mills, have made a reasonably good start to the second half, certainly compared to their first half start.
Definitely, but that's been the difference, and we've talked about it all game. Inter are quite happy to take a shot, put the ball into the box. The moment they see an opportunity to cross it, they cross it. Benfica, they've been hesitant, they've taken their time, they've taken the extra touch, and the chance is often gone. And that's all it was. Striding forward, whipped into the far post, misses Edin Dzeko, who's probably the target in all honesty. But Barella's coming around the back post, header back across goal, just drops into the far corner.
So pressure on Roger Schmidt and Benfica, who will not want to go to the San Siro for the second leg behind. Ball's on halfway, out on the left-hand side with Benfica, and Grimaldo, who just gets clipped by Dumfries as he comes in field. So it is a free kick to Benfica, just shy of the halfway line. They've taken it short to Osnes, then laid back to Morato. Square ball just behind him to the other centre-half, Antonio Silva. Out to this near touchline, and Gilberto tried to lay it downfield, but Bastoni just stepped in front and whacked the ball downfield. It was his cross that was headed home by Barella. That was a little more agricultural, shall we say.
So yeah, it wasn't too much culture in that clearance. That was more of an Abbott style, wasn't it?
It was, and it went sailing over the dead ball line for a Benfica goal kick. But Inter lead by a goal to nil. If you're just tuning into Champions League live on Talksport 2, Manchester City lead by a goal to nil against Bayern Munich. Meantime, over on Talksport, Gilberto finds Jean Mario, infield to Florentino Luis, midway point of his own half. Inter trying to pedal back and get numbers behind the ball as Osnes moves into the half of the field. Chiquinho out to Grimaldo left hand side, midway point of the half, just flicks it back to Chiquinho, and he elects to go back to the halfway line of Morato. Young Antonio Silva looks for Gilberto on this near side, the right back, about 10 yards inside into territory. Now they've worked it from right to left. Here's Grimaldo again. He's got Dumfries and he's got Barella for company. Can't find a way through Benfica. Inter have got a very organised 5-3-2 system in defence. And here is Jean Mario on the right wing, level with the edge of the area. Infield it goes from Luis to Osnes. Jean Mario again, and Gilberto on this near side, the right. An attempted cross, deflected up in the air by Di Marco, won't go out for a corner. Cross came Darmian, kept in play on this near side by Lautaro Martinez, but he's presented it to Jean Mario down by the corner flag. Just chips it up to the edge of the area. Neat skill by Gonzalo Ramos. Finds Luis, Rafa Silva. Finds Jean Mario, tries to twist and turn and get to the ball, and pulls it across the face of goal. It's clear off the line, and they still can't get it over the line. Benfica somehow Inter scramble it clear. 2 and 3 half chances for Benfica to turn the ball home, but it led a charmed life there. The Inter Milan goal stays 1-0 to the Italians.
I thought the chance had gone. They were trying to be too precise, too careful in and around the 18-yard box, and Jean Mario, he got himself into a really good position. I thought he was going to cross it, then didn't, and I thought, oh, that's it, great opportunity, gone. But he sticks it to the far post. Can't quite see who that was.
Well, Rafa Silva had a shot that was blocked by Darmian, and Gonzalo Ramos went in for the follow-up, and Bastoni got a vital touch in, and Gonzalo Ramos ended up in a crumpled heap on the floor inside the Inter 6-yard box, where he still is, requiring treatment.
Was it Grimaldo had the first chance though? It came to him, and he looked completely perplexed and shocked that the ball had almost come to him, and it effectively hit his left foot, and he wasn't able to even adjust or get a swing on it, and that just sort of like deflected it, I would say, goalwards. And then it was a complete scramble, wasn't it? Bodies throwing themselves all over the place.
Stays 1-0 to Inter Milan on Talksport 2 in the Champions League.
And that's just why Benfica did a little bit more conviction, a little bit more self-belief in the final third, and they'll get themselves back into this.
Danny Mills alongside me, Ian Danter on commentary. I'll be with Alvin Martin tomorrow night on Talksport 2 for the all-Italian tie between AC Milan and Napoli. Hope you can join us for that. Well, of course, Chelsea are in Madrid tomorrow night. That's live on Talksport. Our coverage starts at 7 p.m. Oh, well won back by Gilberto, coming forward for Benfica. Down the right-hand side, in the right wing position is João Mario. Deep cross to the far post. Doesn't find Orsnes. It's headed away as far as Grimaldo. Now Orsnes has it left-hand side. Little reverse ball for Grimaldo. Pulls it back to the 6-yard area. Only half cleared. Orsnes tries to drive. It's blocked by Brozovic. Headed up in the air by Orsnes. Brozovic there again. The red shirts of Benfica trying to swarm around the ball to win it back. And eventually they do. Laid back for Florentino Luis, who looks out to the left-hand side for Chiquinho. Gonzalo Ramos at the edge of the area. Continued his run, Chiquinho, as it's lobbed into him by Orsnes, and he tried to cheekily loft it over Onana from a very tight angle and got too much on it, really. Goal kick to Inter Milan, approaching the hour mark on Talksport 2, and the Italians 1-0 up.
Oh, there's definitely something in this, though, for Benfica if they want it. Just have a little bit more conviction, a little bit more belief. You know, they are behind that Barella goal. It was a fantastic header, textbook. You know, they always say, head it back from where the ball came from, back in that direction. Don't need to go for too much power, and he just guides it, uses the pace of the cross, and guides it into the far corner.
Well, they've won all 4 of their games when scoring the opener in the Champions League this season, Inter Milan. Benfica lose possession. Gonzalo Ramos with a header towards the halfway line that went the wrong side from where Rafa Silva was waiting for a flick on. And Inter have possession inside their own half with the man whose cross led to that opening goal. Bastoni trying to float the ball downfield for Dzeko. An important interception by Antonio Silva. Just looked for a moment like it was going to get away from him, and Dzeko could have been away and in on goal, but stuck out a leg, the youngster, and won it back for Benfica. Here's Florentino Luis, midway point of his own half.
Inter have just dropped off the pace completely, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's like they've reverted to Italian type. We've gone 1-0 up, let's just keep the 1-0 lead.
What we have, we hold. Ball slid down the right-hand side of the Inter box looking for Rafa Silva, but Onana quickly on the scene.
I thought you were going to get all poetic there.
No, don't worry.
Break into one of your songs you've written.
I'm not going to torment the listeners with any of that. Benfica 0, Inter Milan 1. An hour gone on Talksport 2. Dzeko can't keep control of the ball on halfway. Orsnes in the centre circle, being hassled and harried by Lautaro Martinez. Chiquinho having to twist and turn to get away from the Argentine, and now it's on the inside right channel for Benfica with João Mario out to the right wing, and Gilberto faced up by Di Marco, looking to make room for a cross. Again, the cross doesn't have a great deal of conviction, and it's cleared away by the first defender, but Inter's clearance doesn't reach halfway. Flick on at the edge of the area by Gilberto, but it was just beyond Rafa Silva and Gonzalo Ramos, and Onana has it again. 1-0 Inter with an hour gone on Talksport 2.
Final ball into the box is, I would say, hopeful. It's not like they're looking to be precise or pick anybody out. It's like, we'll just sling it in and hopefully it'll get to somebody. That's not quite good enough at this level.
You're listening to the Champions League live on Talksport 2 with Till by NatWest, the card payment partner that works hard for your business. Ian Danter and Danny Mills with you on this Tuesday evening. Inter are going to be making a change. I think Lukaku's ready to come on. In fact, a triple change being lined up by Simone Inzaghi.
Well, I said they
what does that tell you, Danny?
Well, I said they dropped off the pace, hadn't they? And they were maybe sitting back a little bit too much, and maybe the manager feels that's the case. Get some fresh legs on. Again, a 2-0 lead would be absolutely huge, taking that back to the San Siro.
Yeah, 1-0's great, 2-0 would be manna from heaven.
I mean, 2-0, that dangerous scoreline that everyone goes on about.
Yeah.
Not as dangerous as 1-0. I'd much rather be 2-0 up than 1-0 up.
I try not to get caught up in all that stuff. Anyway, Lukaku is coming on for Dzeko. Martinez is coming off as well, so both the strikers are being withdrawn, and Correa is coming on. So the two strikers that played against Salernitana.
Strength in depth is fantastic, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah.
Gozens is coming on as well, I think. I mean, that's absolutely superb. 3 real quality players coming on.
Yeah, the German Robin Gosens, who scored the goal against Salernitana on Friday, comes on for Di Marco in that left wing back position. So they're all like for like switches. No change in system for Inter Milan. Everyone just slots into position for those who come off.
As it should be. You know, they're 1-0 up, playing well. It's about getting fresh legs on. You know, just changing the flow of the game.
Benfica yet to make a change. 62 minutes gone. Benfica 0, Inter Milan 1.
Apart from that goal-mouth scramble, they haven't really tested Onana, have they?
That's very true. Looking to achieve 4 consecutive clean sheets in the knockout stages for the first time. Inter Milan. They're 1-0 up. Benfica have got plenty of time to do something about it, though.
I'm surprised they didn't do that under Mourinho.
Mourinho was the mastermind of the 2010 Champions League win. Roger Smith is planning changes for Benfica. He's seen Simone Inzaghi shuffle the pack, and he's decided to respond. And coming off is Florentino Luis, and David Neres, once of Ajax, is coming on to replace him. Plenty of Champions League experience, 5 years at Ajax, and he had been at Shakhtar in the Ukrainian league before coming to Benfica. So he's on for these last 26 minutes or so for Benfica, who trailed by a goal to 0. They a long ball asking Rafa Silva to give chase. Darmian got there first for Inter, very neatly laid off on halfway, and here comes Robin Gosens, his first involvement down the inside left hand. Mkhitaryan finds Correa at the edge of the area. Has he won a corner? No, it's a goal kick. He thinks it's a corner, but Michael Oliver disagrees. 1-0 Inter Milan. Danny Mills.
Although that didn't come off, that's definitely the difference between Inter. In that final third, they've got a little bit more belief, a little bit more sharpness. They play the ball first time. They're prepared to make a mistake going forward. Whereas Benfica want to be a little bit too cautious, a little bit too precise. No one's prepared to take a risk with the ball. And you've got to do that if you're going to create chances.
So Varela's goal, 6 minutes into the second half, still separating the sides. Bit of an aimless ball hit down the Benfica left, well over the head of Jean Mario. So 25 minutes to go. Loose pass by Inter, picked up on halfway for Benfica by Gilberto. Drives into the inside right position. Neres looked like he was caught late by Bastoni as he released the pass, but Michael Oliver wastes play on.
So if that's the Premier League,
that's a free kick.
And probably a booking. I don't understand it. It's like, I think Michael Oliver's had a really good game, in fact. But he seems to referee differently in Euros than he does in England.
Now here come Inter Milan on the counter-attack. Correa approaching the area, little reverse ball inside. Mkhitaryan can't get the ball underneath the goalkeeper. Vlaco Dimos almost sat on the ball to make sure it didn't squirm underneath him, as Mkhitaryan made a very lovely late run into the area. Stays 1-0 to Inter Milan.
Great move, great pass, great run, and Mkhitaryan, he just tries to slot it between the goalkeeper's legs. Now when the goalkeepers come out and spread themselves big, their legs are wide, and you're right, just manages somehow to sit on it. Good job, he's got a large derriere.
Here come Benfica down their right hand side with Neres. Plays the ball in field, chases after his own flick actually. Poor clearance from Inter, and Chiquinho works it down the left hand side for Grimaldo. Tries to drive it in early, it's blocked by Dumfries.
Grimaldo should doing first time dance.
Yeah.
The ball's played out there, and this is the problem, just that extra touch is killing them.
Inter win it back. Lukaku Lays it off to Barella, the goal scorer. Looks for Lukaku again in the centre circle. Options left and right. Trying to go right for Correa. It was just blocked in the nick of time by Osnes. And Osnes now being chased by Lukaku. Good work by Romelu Lukaku.
How big is Lukaku?
Yeah. I mean, that yellow strip would do nobody any favours when you're big.
I mean, he looks a bit like Akinfenwa.
Yeah, Bayo would be happy with that if you're likening him to Romelu Lukaku.
But he does, doesn't he? I mean, he looks so top heavy. It's unbelievable.
Certainly a different specimen to the Lukaku that was at Chelsea.
Well, a different specimen to everybody else on the pitch as well.
He
looks absolutely huge.
Quite the target man, but he's not scored many this season.
I can tell him that from 100 yards away.
A couple in the Champions League, only 3 in Serie A this season for Lukaku. But he's waiting for a cross. Gerson's down the left-hand side of the box. Darmian whips the cross in, headed away from Lukaku. Comes out to Barella, who tried to drive from 30 yards out, blocked by Antonio Silva and Morato. And then Rafa Silva loses out to Brozovic and Dumfries on the right-hand side.
That's a foul on the booking, should be.
Well, Dumfries has stayed down and is writhing around in agony. Rafa Silva may well get a yellow card from the referee, or is it just a ticking off?
I'd be surprised. It studs up. He catches him, I think, just above the ankle.
Well, he's writhing around in pain. Denzel Dumfries out on the far side of the field.
Well, he's writhing around.
Oh, it is a nasty challenge. We're seeing a close-up on our monitors. Caught the left shin of Denzel Dumfries, and yet he's holding the back of his right calf.
But what's Michael Oliver looking at to not see that? I've seen that in real time, instantly, and go, oh, that's about him. Michael Oliver's 100 yards closer than I am.
Well, he's given the free kick, but no yellow card that I can see for Rafa Silva. Here comes the free kick from Barella. Deep to just outside the area, left-hand side. Acerbi puts the ball back in. It was looking for Dumfries, who was coming in, but headed out for a corner by Gonzalo Ramos. 1-0 Inter.
It's a delightful cross. Absolutely magnificent. Because he just feels it into the box. He doesn't try and whip it with ridiculous pace, so no one can adjust. He just pops it up into an area.
Barella's gone across to take the right-wing corner for Inter Milan. Into the final quarter of this first leg Champions League tie. In it comes to the near post, headed out by Morato for Benfica, but Mkhitaryan scurries back to retrieve possession on the halfway line, and he goes all the way back to Onana. Still Manchester City 1, Bayern Munich 0. I gather Sadio Mane is coming on for Bayern as a substitute.
I almost forgot he was there.
Yeah, well, of course he's had big injury problems this season.
When you look at their forward line and the players that they've got available, it's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, Inter Milan have got 4 good strikers. We've talked about that already in commentary. Dzeko and Martinez started the game. Correa and Lukaku are on now to try and see this first leg out and give Inter Milan a lead to take back to next week's second leg at the San Siro. Lukaku gets the ball out of play, just putting pressure on Antonio Silva. And Manchester City have doubled their lead at the Etihad, live on Talksport against Bayern Munich, and it's Bernardo Silva who's taking the acclaim. 2-0 to Pep Guardiola's men against his old side and his old adversary Thomas Tuchel.
It's an outstanding header. Absolutely magnificent. Just seen it on the monitor from Bernardo Silva. Ball whipped into the far post and he comes running in and he just absolutely bullet into the far corner.
Here come Benfica, cross into the box, looking for Gonzalo Ramos. That's a good claim by Onana. Coming out to the just outside his 6-yard box.
Erling Haaland with the assist. It was great work from Jack Grealish in the first place to win the ball back as Bayern trying to play out from the back.
Yes, good for Meccano, I think, making the
clever little back heel, and then great, similar to the ball we just had in this game. Erling Haaland just sort of floats it into the far post and he gives Bernardo Silva a chance to run at it, time to adjust, pick his spot, and powers it through Sommer's hands.
Your chance to react to all tonight's Champions League action with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy on the Sports Bar. They get underway over on Talksport at 10 p.m. tonight. We'll have the Cricket Collective here on Talksport 2 at 10. Plenty going on in the world of cricket. The County Championship season getting underway, as it would be in these incredibly warm temperatures that we've got at this time of year.
Don't do cricket, don't.
Yeah, I looked at Danny Mills there and he gave me that glazed expression.
County cricket. No,
here's Chiquinho, Rafa Silva down the right hand side. It's flicked away from Rafa Silva, comes back to Grimaldo, who drives it left footed, and it's not that far wide.
Is it a corner?
It may well be a corner. It must have taken a deflection. Close run thing there, and they have won a corner. Grimaldo just let fly from the left hand side of the box, slaps his hands in frustration, but it is a corner to Benfica. Clutch of players just next to the penalty spot as the corner comes in. Poor delivery straight at Brozovic.
It wasn't poor, it was absolutely woeful. It didn't get more than
nice.
It didn't get even more than 2 feet off the ground.
Chiquinho finds Gilberto right hand side as Benfica look to press again. Neres just on as a substitute, keeps the ball away from Correa, but Correa then wins the ball back, brings the ball downfield. Neat ball inside for Mkhitaryan. Lukaku pulling away to the inside right channel, but a little square ball from Mkhitaryan finds Barella. Barella shot from the edge of the area, drags it well wide in the end. It's a goal kick to Benfica with 16 and a half minutes to go on Talksport 2. Still Benfica 0, Inter Milan 1.
Yeah, I still think Inter are in reasonable control of this game. There's been 1 or 2 forays from Benfica, but I just want to see a bit more belief from them in that final third, and they'll have a great opportunity of getting back into this, because Inter have gone very Italian since they scored. They've sat back.
Well, now Rafa Silva's gone down claiming he was fouled. Michael Oliver wants no part of it, but Benfica have won it back on the near side of the right. Rafa Silva has stayed down, but his teammates are playing on. Without him, they've spread play from right to left, and now Michael Oliver stops play even before anybody's tempted to put the ball out.
Isn't it strange, Dan, that we used to complain about Europeans rolling around, getting too many free kicks, going down too easily, and actually now it seems to be the case that that's happening more often than not in the Premier League, and referees are allowing the game to flow a little bit more the other way around.
Yeah, it's prevalent. There's no doubt about it in the EFL as well. I'm watching Championship and League One fixtures to.
But Michael Oliver this evening,
do you know where you don't see it?
I think he's refereed very, very well.
Yeah.
But he's let the game flow. He's allowed things to happen and challenges to go unpunished that he would never let go unpunished in the Premier League.
But I'll tell you where you don't see writhing around, and that's the WSL.
Oh, completely. You also see a lot more respect as well for officials.
Most certainly. I'll be at Lee Sports Village on Saturday early evening for the Women's FA Cup semi-final.
Wait now, there'll be someone turn around and give the referee or give someone a right hook at this one.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Manchester United against Brighton in the Women's FA Cup semi-final. It's one of our live commentaries of the weekend for you. Loads of commentaries coming at 50 this month.
Oh, it's absolutely loaded, isn't it?
And one of our exclusive commentaries will be the potential title decider at the Etihad between Manchester City and Arsenal later this month. Wallop.
Oh, having said that, I think Leicester have got to worry about Manchester City. The sort of form they're in at the moment. Oh, they've nearly just scored a third as well. That caught my eye on our little monitor. Absolutely outstanding. New management team in at Leicester must be thinking, oh, what a great start it is. Manchester City away.
Yeah, that is Dean Smith's. No contracts on between Gonzalo Ramos and Acerbi here.
I think Acerbi just punched his foot.
Acerbi is...
Wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley, would you, Acerbi?
No, he's a pretty aggressive looking dude.
He's got the Chiellini type temperament.
Yeah. Just a reminder of some of our commentaries we've got for you in the Premier League at the weekend. Aston Villa Newcastle's our exclusive lunchtime kick-off. What a job Unai Emery and Eddie Howe have both done at their respective clubs. That's a Talksport exclusive. At the same time, Sheffield United trying to inch towards automatic promotion. They take on relegation-threatened Cardiff. That's here on Talksport 2. And then our Talksport 2 Premier League offering at 3 o'clock. We're back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium again. Tottenham against Bournemouth. Before that, Manchester United women against Brighton's women FA Cup semi-final, which is at 5:15 here on Talksport 2. Cross to the far post, finding a header from Dumfries. It's blocked on the line brilliantly by Vlachodimos. Could so easily have been 2-0 to Inter Milan. Barella to the right-hand corner of the box, and Correa. Brilliant save from Vlachodimos, but here's Dumfries again down the right-hand side of the box. Lukaku is in the area looking for a header. The cross is deflected up in the air, headed back into the danger area by Barella, but they managed to clear their lines. Do Benfica. Manchester City have got a third goal against Bayern Munich. That might put the tie to bed even before the second leg in the Allianz Arena. And wouldn't you just know it, having had a wretched record against Bayern Munich for Borussia Dortmund, Erling Haaland gets the third goal.
He's never beaten them, I believe. If I was listening to the guys earlier on, but 3-0. I mean, from what we've seen from, you catch it in the monitor, it looks like it's been a fantastic game. It'd be interesting to see what Adrian and Sam and Stuart Pearce have had to say about it afterwards, because it doesn't look like a 3-0 game, if that makes sense.
No. Bayern Munich look like they've been in it at times.
Had plenty of chances. But just in here, Dumfries had a fantastic opportunity, didn't he? The header was a great header down at the goalkeeper, saved with his legs. It came back to him, almost caught him by surprise, and then fired straight back again.
Now there's a potential penalty check. VAR is taking a look in that last melee in the box. There might be a handball in there that is being checked. We don't know exactly what the check is for. Simone Inzaghi doing that classic hands out to the side. What's going on? Look. And Michael Oliver is waiting to see what the Dutch VAR official
He's going to the
he's going to go to the referee review area and go and have a look.
In that case, then it's a penalty.
Yeah. maybe that means that there was a handball in that melee of chances where Dumfries had a shot on goal, but Michael Oliver has gone across to the far side of the field to the referee review area, where of course nobody's allowed to encroach whilst he takes a look at the footage.
Any chance of us seeing it as well?
Well, he can't see anything. He's just got a UEFA logo in front of him.
No, he's got the spinning wheel of death. Look, he's almost had to walk away because the screen's not working.
I can't see anything.
Press play.
Yeah.
Press play, somebody. Press play.
So all he's got at the minute is the UEFA crest on his screen in front of him.
It's the UEFA. Oh, here we go. The UEFA spinning wheel of death.
Finally, what happens? A cross comes in and it hits the arm of João Mario.
Never
as Dumfries hit the original cross in for the right-hand side.
Never in a million years is that a penalty. Never in a million years.
Does it hit his head before his arm? It hits head before his hand.
It hits his leg.
Yeah.
Then it hits his shoulder. Then it hits his head, and then it might just flick his arm 1 inch inside the box. If he gives this, it's a disgrace.
He's given a penalty.
That's embarrassing.
Handball given, and a silent Estadio de Luz looks on.
No. That is the most ridiculous decision ever.
Well, the cross came in from Dumfries from the right-hand side of the area. It came up and it hit something like his shoulder, João Mario, before it hits his left arm.
I think it hits his leg, there, then his shoulder, then his head, then his arm.
It hit his arm last of all, and that's been deemed as a penalty kick. João Mario not exactly protesting too much, but Romelu Lukaku is the man being entrusted with a penalty with 9 minutes to go that really and truly could put this tie beyond Benfica before they get back to the San Siro next week.
Oh, there's a big delay as well. They're trying to put Lukaku off. Goalkeeper's doing his best to get in his head.
Only now just walking back to his goal line.
I'm sorry, guys. I think that's an absolutely ridiculous decision to give a penalty for that.
Certainly very harsh on João Mario, the former Inter Milan player. But his handball has led to this penalty kick.
I thought if it touched your body first, it wasn't a penalty.
Lukaku staring intently at the ball, left-footed effort. Saved, is it? No, it goes underneath Vlachodimos. and Romelu Lukaku makes it 2-0 to Inter Milan, and the small pocket of Inter fans inside the Estadio de Luz celebrate wildly. They're going to take a healthy lead, it seems, back to Italy for the second leg. And Lukaku, who's been a bit goal shy this season, has his third in the Champions League this campaign. And with 8 minutes to go, Benfica 0, Inter Milan 2.
They're celebrating like they're in the final. They've still got another leg to go. I think they might have forgotten that. This is not a one-off. Great penalty. Low and hard, left foot, across his body, into that bottom corner. Absolutely superb. There's obviously an incident.
Yeah, Dzeko's just being spoken to by one of the UEFA
Has he been booked?
officials. Yeah, something might have happened down there.
Well, every single player ran on the pitch. So
as you say, it was like they won the final.
Yeah, they can't just be singling him out, surely.
Well, Lukaku's penalty just went underneath. I thought for a
Right in
moment.
the corner. Keeper doesn't get there. It's right in the corner. It's about an inch inside the post. Deceptive angle, I think, we've got from that first one.
So it ends up 2-0 to Inter Milan.
But it's never been a penalty. It's the worst decision ever. So bearing in mind that VAR has to be a clear and obvious error of a decision. Now I'm looking at, I was under the impression and the belief that if the ball hits another part of your body first,
Before it hits the arm,
and
yes.
then hits the arm, it's not a penalty.
Correct. I think that's the law.
Well, I think it hit his leg, definitely hit his head, and then flicked his hand.
Well, Talksport 2 listeners will know my opinions on VAR. I think I said during
Not
the course
VAR, it's the people that
but yes, exactly that. And after 5 years of having it in the Premier League, it should be a finely tuned machine by now. And it is anything but a
Do you know
finely
what,
tuned
James? It
machine.
would be so easy. Put an ex-manager, an ex-player in there. Okay, we don't know necessarily all the laws of the game and the little intricacies sometimes and nuances of the laws of the game. We don't need to.
Benfica coming forward, and the ball chipped into the far post from Grimaldo, trying to get a shot in on target on the half volley. Half decent run from Grimaldo, but just couldn't control it.
Yeah, Dzeko was booked. Singled out.
Over celebrating.
Ridiculous. But if you put the ex-players in there, I don't need to be able to say to the referee, you need to change your mind, this is the law. All I have to say is, this is my opinion on why. Go and have a look at it. And then he makes his own decision. It's not influenced by the laws of the game or by the letter of the law. It's quite simple. You know, you're saying, look, as a player, this is what I've seen. You can have a look at it and you now imply what you think is the law to that decision. Surely that would work so much better.
Well, Michael Oliver decided that it was a penalty.
I told you they were talking double Dutch in that VAR room.
And as you were saying, he'd had a good game up to that point, Michael Oliver. Here's Dumfries coming forward for Inter. Across the face of goal, surely through the
just
goes.
behind him.
Can't get hold of it at the far post. Lovely cross from Denzel Dumfries.
It was a fraction behind him. That would have really killed it off. That would have been game over.
Benfica have got to do something about this. I would venture they need a goal to give themselves something to play with at the San Siro. I don't think 2-0 is a deficit that they can necessarily come back from in the white-hot atmosphere of the San Siro.
Well, we haven't seen enough from them this evening in an attacking sense. I know they've been very, very good domestically, but they've been a bit gun-shy. They've been shot-shy. They haven't had the confidence or the belief to take it on in the final third.
Well, Denzel Dumfries is now coming off to allow Danilo D'Ambrosio to come on. Long-serving AC Milan player here since 2014. Fantastic servant to Inter Milan, and he'll get 3 or 4 minutes plus added time on the pitch for Inter Milan, who lead 2-0 against Benfica on Talksport 2. Don't forget the Cricket Collective coming up at 10 p.m. tonight here on Talksport 2 with the likes of Steve Harmison and Neil Manthorpe taking through all the cricketing stories of the week, whilst over on Talksport at 10 o'clock phone lines are open for you to have your say particularly Manchester City fans, as they lead 3-0 against Bayern.
Unbelievable score that.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what the fans think. They'll be listening later on, because it didn't necessarily look like a 3-0 game.
Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy will be taking your calls on the sports bar. 03717 223344. 3 minutes to go here in Lisbon.
It was nearly 4 in the City game.
It was.
Rodri again with an unbelievable header and someone with a fantastic save.
Osnes for Benfica coming forward down the inside left channel. Morato. Jean Mario, whose handball led to the penalty. Benfica trying desperately to win it back high up the field, but they've given it up. Lukaku giving chase, thundering downfield, but Antonio Silva steps in front of him and calmly rolls it back to Vlachodimos, keeper.
Well, like we talked about earlier, this could well be or lead to an all-Italian semi-final. It's only Inter who have got to get through this. A 2-0 lead is not unassailable, but going back to the San Siro is going to be very, very difficult, I think, for Benfica, unless they get a goal in the last couple of minutes.
There's Gilberto looking for Osnes, and now Rafa Silva in the right wing position. Wraps his foot round the cross well enough, but it drifts away from everybody out to the left-hand side of the area. Jean Mario dispossesses D'Ambrosio, does well actually. Jean Mario spins on the ball left-hand corner, looks for an option. David Neres up to the edge of the area. Gonzalo Ramos takes a shot, it's deflected out for a corner kick, says the referee, despite the protestations of pretty much every Inter Milan player, and they've taken the corner quickly. Oh, there were 2 balls on the pitch there, and Michael Oliver says take it again. 2 minutes to go, 2-0 to Inter Milan.
Yeah, Michael Oliver's got to be careful he doesn't lose a little bit of control in this last couple of minutes. Gamesmanship will definitely be coming out from Inter.
Neres takes the corner short. It's worked back to the right-hand corner of the box from Gilberto. The cross is blocked by Brozovic and ricochets out to near the centre circle. Grimaldo, lovely ball swept out to Jean Mario. Left-hand corner of the box. He's only got Darmian facing him up. Back to Antonio and Morato. Morato trying to go on the outside of Correa. Can he get the cross in? He can, but it's straight along the dead ball line and into the grateful arms of Onana, who just plunges on top of the ball and will take his time to get the ball downfield for Inter Milan, who lead 2-0 on Talksport 2.
Well, into the last 40 seconds of the 90, I mean, this could be a fantastic victory for Inter Milan. Gives them a huge leg up going into the second leg in the San Siro at home, awaiting whoever comes through the other tie of Napoli and AC Milan. What a semi-final that is going to be. Whoever it is, whether Napoli get through, and let's assume that it's Inter that get through now, an all-Italian semi-final. Wow.
Well, we'll bring you that first leg between AC Milan and Napoli live here on Talksport 2 tomorrow night. Our coverage starts at 7, and of course over on Talksport, Real Madrid against Chelsea. Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Andy Townsend in the Santiago Bernabeu to bring you that commentary. Frank Lampard pitting his wits against his old manager Carlo Ancelotti, who might be in his last season at Real Madrid. Now here come Benfica coming forward. They've won a corner. Grimaldo again, they're using him as a target for diagonal passes, and they hit the ball against D'Ambrosio. And as we enter 4 minutes of minimum stoppage time, Benfica have a corner out on the left-hand side. 2-0 Inter.
You feel they need something in this last couple of minutes. They're making a double substitution as well. You just feel that they need something. I think De Vrij coming on, Bastoni's going off as well for Inter, but then it looks like Benfica are also going to make a double substitution. But they need something in this last 3 minutes now.
Yeah, De Vrij coming on for Bastoni. Benfica just holding off making their double change for the moment, it seems. In comes the corner from Jean Mario. Very comfortable claim for Onana at the edge of his 6-yard line.
Far too easy. Floats it into the penalty area. Comes out. So easy for the goalkeeper to take and then just roll over and run the clock down.
Gonzalo Guedes is going to be on shortly for Benfica. So too Petar Musa, the Croatian centre forward. Meanwhile, Inter are trying to combine Correa and Lukaku. Benfica only half clear it, and it's with Acerbi. Plays the ball down the left-hand side.
Don't need it. Corner.
Ball's out of play for a goal kick. It didn't appear to take a touch.
It did.
In the referee's opinion.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Off of Benfica. It certainly looked to us that it did.
The biggest touch ever. Michael Oliver did amazing for 85 minutes. And then he had one.
Benfica running out of time. 2 minutes of minimum stoppage time have gone. 4 minutes were added on by Michael Oliver. 2-0 to Inter Milan in the closing stages of this first leg. Here is Antonio Silva, midway point of the Inter half. Looks for Grimaldo again. Has seen a lot of ball out on that far side of the field. Tries to work it in field to João Mario. Orsnes keeps the ball alive. João Mario again, the former Inter Milan midfielder, tosses the ball into the box, but again,
he's not playing well, is he?
Comfortable for Onana. The ball's a good 10 yards ahead of Gonzalo Ramos.
Set piece has been poor, his pass has been poor. It's really not been the captain's night.
And so, one more time ticks away at the Estadio de Luz. And Onana clears from hands. And those substitutes that Roger Smith had ready have been told to go and sit back down. Not going to throw them on in the end. Neither Guedes nor Musa is coming on for Benfica, as they both trudge back to their sub-shack. Last minute of minimum stoppage time. Have Benfica got anything left to take something with them to Milan? João Mario, left hand side, works it back to the halfway line of Morato. Bit of urgency required from Benfica. Gilberto, the right back, midway point of the half, faced up by Mkhitaryan. Now it's with Rafa Silva, and he's lost out. Good interception by Robin Gosens. And then Brozovic loses out to Orsnes. Neres driving from the centre circle, placing through. Gonzalo Ramos inside the area. Great save, Onana, to keep it at 2-0. What a magnificent stop. Guedes suddenly in behind from Neres' pass, and a brilliant stop from Onana ends the game. That could so easily have been a goal back for Benfica with the last kick of the game. But Andre Onana gets the congratulations of his teammates, and quite right too, because he's preserved Inter Milan's 2-0 lead with that brilliant one-handed save right at the end of the game, Danny Mills.